Now, you may not want to do what Gary's done. You may not want to do what I'm doing. But I guarantee you want to do something better than you're doing. Because, you see, that's part of your nature. You're a spiritual being, and spirit's always for expansion and fuller expression. Here's what you want to decide, what you really want. See, it boils down to making a decision. Carnegie said, any idea that's held in the mind, that's emphasized, that's either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. As you see, we get an idea, but we don't know how it's going to happen. We think it won't happen. Well, you don't have to know how it's going to happen. The Wright brothers didn't know how they were going to get the plane off the ground. They only knew they were going to get the plane off the ground. Well, think. Ed Hillary didn't know how he was going to get to the top of Mount Everest. He just knew he was going to get to the top of Mount Everest. You don't have to know how you're going to do what you want to do. You only have to know you're going to do it. See, it comes down to a decision. That's really what it comes down to. And when you make the right decision, you're going to start to enjoy freedom that you've never enjoyed before. And everyone wants freedom. See, if I want to be free, I've got to be me. You want to enjoy time and money freedom. And I have found, and I'm sure anybody else that has gone here will understand this, you're going to be amazed at how much free time you have when you never have to think about money. Now look at this for a moment. With your business, you can turn your annual income into a monthly income. Think about that for a moment. This can be accomplished by having multiple sources of income. Do you know that wealthy people, going right back to the ancient Babylonians, have always had multiple sources of income? It's such a beautiful idea. Our world is changing. It's changing so dramatically that we're having trouble keeping up with it. The world's not getting bigger, it's getting smaller. You can have business all over the world. With the internet today, you can communicate all over the world. I'm broadcasting all over the world right now. Now look at this. There's your bank. Do you know every time you introduce a person to this business, there are multiple sources of income. Every time you introduce a person, that's a source of income. And you can just keep introducing people to the business. Just keep introducing people to the business. That's a multiple source of income. Wealthy people have always had multiple sources. Just look at how it works. It's so incredible. Now you'll say, well, are they all the same size? No. Some of them will go on to build a big business, possibly bigger than yours. And some will just have a little tiny business. But you know something? Big or small, they all have one thing in common. The money just keeps flowing into your bank. You decide what's going to be done with it. There is no end to it. There's absolutely no end to it. It's such a beautiful concept. If it didn't exist, we'd have to invent it. Look at the babies. Is that ever interesting? How the heck did they earn all that money? Well, you know, there's people looking at you now and they're thinking that. And you hold up a little vial of oil and they'll say, oh, no, I couldn't do it. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. They don't understand. You've got to explain the business before you start talking about the oil. If they don't understand the mechanics of the business, if they don't understand how, see, everyone wants to do better than they're doing, but they're stuck. They are actually stuck. You've got to help them believe that they can do better than they're doing. Everything is possible for the person who believes. You've got to find out what the person wants. I never try and sell you anything till I find out what you want. Now, we all heard what Gary wanted. He talked about what he wanted to do with this business in Salt Lake City. When you find out what a person wants, then you can determine, can you help them get it? Now look at this. Our belief system is based upon our evaluation of something. Frequently, when we reevaluate a situation, our belief about that situation will change. This was a great discovery for me. I was trying to figure out why I changed, and this is what I came across. Ray took and he pointed a paragraph out in the book. The paragraph said, there's a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. No one is ready for a thing until they believe that they can acquire it. This state of mind must be belief and not mere hope or wish. Joyce says open-mindedness is essential to belief. Closed minds will not inspire faith, courage, or belief. Well, you see, I didn't believe I could win. But what I started doing is studying all this material. What I was really studying was me. I was reevaluating who I was. I was reevaluating what I could do. And you see, I quit hoping and wishing, and I started believing. And as I started to believe, I found out I was ready. And it's like Hill said, it takes no more effort. Is required to aim high in life, to demand abundance and prosperity, than is required to accept misery and poverty. This is so beautiful to understand that. Do you know it's easier to earn $1 million than it is to earn 100,000? It is. It's easier to do a lot than it is to do a little.